Do you know what his favorite fast food restaurant is?
Is it the same as a pirate?
I don't know how you know
Arby's.
I don't know how you know that. Arby's is the best.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the pain.
When the sun goes down, the music turns up. A whole new world opens up behind the velvet rope. Join us as we take you behind the scenes of the nightlife world.
Are you ready?
DJ Jason Smith, Jeff London. I'm the promoter, he's the DJ podcast, live from Boston, Massachusetts.
Episode 31.
31? Jesus.
I think last one of the year.
Last one of the year. Has it been in... How long have we been doing this? How long is 31 episodes? 31 week? 30... I don't know. How many...
It's almost been... we started in...
When we start this?
May? June?
Yeah.
We're halfway through. We got a special guest today.
We do. A good friend.
Someone who I've worked with, competed with, the king of Crocs, the self-proclaimed Swiss Army knife, our guy that works with us now at Big Night, Alex Williams.
One time, Alex Williams, everybody.
Welcome.
And very handsome, too.
You forgot that part.
Fuck, yo. What the hell?
So we'll start off with this. We'll go back to the beginning.
Ooh, the beginning. I like the beginning.
Been growing up in Pennsylvania. We know that you are a streetwear connoisseur, a music connoisseur. How'd you get into music and fashion?
Well, I mean, I used to I lived in Middle Woods, Pennsylvania, and kind of the internet. I mean, I think the internet kind of was when I grew up, it was just that time of all the hype beast websites,
blogs
Nike
and
Talk,
everything.
all that.
Yeah.
So there used to be a place 15, 20 minutes from my house, and I used to go and buy the shoes, and nobody else knew about them. But I was I used to meet kids on the internet from close towns, because remember the closest town I grew up in a farm town. So we lived on 50 acres, so the closest town was an hour away. So I meet kids from hour away, and they would know what's going on, and they kind of we kind of knew what was going on before it became mainstream popular. So Jordan 5s were big back then, so we used to find this spot, and you'd have to they'd start a raffle. It wasn't a raffle. They'd have so many pairs. You'd call the phone line, and if you're the first one to get your name down when they open it, it was a phone line kind of thing. So you'd be Alex Williams, size 13. So if you got your size, you got it. If you didn't call in time or you had something going on, or it was a rough week.
That's crazy. So, speaking of Pennsylvania, right? Tell us your first job at Fluff's.
Okay, so I used
What's Fluff's first of all?
Yeah, what's Fluff first
Okay,
of
so
all?
it was the deli. I used to go there. I used to like the deli. It was my hangout spot. And then I used to bring a lot of people there. She's like, "Oh, you want to work here?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll try it out." So on my
Is that
first,
your first promoting job?
yeah, that was my first employer. I used to go.
You bring mad people. You want to work here?
I used to go.
Alex promoted at a deli.
I really did, because I used to go after school and bring all these people, and she's like, "Oh, you come work here." So it was my first day at work, and it was cool. She used to let me cook, do everything. But I always had one rule with her, because I couldn't clean. I was like, listen, I can't mop. I'll bring the people.
True millennial.
I'll help out. I'm here to support business, but I can't clean. So I was like, I'll make up for it with bringing more people here to eat at the deli. So,
Is that still your motto in life?
yes.
No cleaning?
I do have a clean lady once a week, every Wednesday.
What's her name?
I call her Nice Lady. That's how everyone knows her. She's such a nice lady.
That's awesome.
Obviously, Alex doesn't know the name
Wait, so
of his.
is Fluff still around?
Fluff's is still around. I don't know if she still owns it, but it was a lady. Her name was Fluff. That was her name.
That's fire.
And that was her name. And
Peanut butter and fluff
she used
sandwiches,
to have
special.
All kind of weird, unique, cool. She was known for the Reuben. There was a sandwich called the Big Bird. It was a lot of cool sandwiches. Everyone liked it. It was a hopping spot in Pennsylvania, if there's such a thing.
Every Monday was a fluff and nutter sandwich.
Yeah, she'd have specials every day. People, I feel like in Pennsylvania, like specials on that board, like that.
No,
that
the old like Coca-Cola board.
Yeah.
That's like half yellowed from like the grease.
She
in
had
the
like a
place.
marker board.
No,
and,
it's
like,
gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the white marker.
It's a white marker board.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, what are we gonna have for special today? It's just
That's
Whatever she
amazing.
had left.
But then I moved to the grill. I was a grill monster there. I could do 7, 8, 10 sandwiches at a time, Jeff. You should have saw me, buddy. Bang. That was the first. I was running the list back then. It was like this. I had the list of sandwiches. Boom, boom, boom.
Grill master.
I was quick.
But did
like
you
to taste one
follow
of
the
those
order,
sandwiches.
or you just like, I'm giving them what they
I
want?
followed the order, but then I started inventing my own sandwiches because I was kind of bored back there. So they'd be like, "Oh, what's something good?" I'd be like, "I got you," and I just do my own thing.
I like that.
Don't worry, you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
I like that. So how long you been in Boston after you moved up here?
So it's probably been like 10, 11 years.
Did your whole family move to Boston, or you just broke out?
So my
from
brother
Phil-
started going to BC
Pennsylvania?
here. He's an actuary, right? So he's a smart member of the family. So he went there. He was an actuary. And then my sister went to Northeastern. She does HR. So we're all up here now. He has a kid. And he lives in Framingham. My sister lives in, like, down by the garden, too. So we're all really close. And
That's awesome.
Everyone kind of moved here.
So Alex's phone was just buzzing away, obviously. The man of many talents.
Guy wears a lot of wears a lot of hats.
He does wear a lot of hats. So, in terms of Big Night, you help book the talent at Big Night Live.
Yep.
Obviously, the promotions, VIP hosts. Who gave you the Swiss Army knife title? It's self-proclaimed, right?
Self-proclaimed. 'Cause
Yeah.
Everyone says, "What do you do?" Well, what don't I do? I feel like.
Wow.
Like a little bit of everything. It's Swiss Army knife.
It's like the connector.
Yeah. I'm
You
maybe
need
not the
something,
best.
and he's, Alex has a guy for that.
I may not be the best at everything, but I could do it all. What do you need?
I know a lot of people that have went really far in business in general just from the connects that they've had from their, like you just connect people, and it just you just find yourself working with these people in different ways too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when I came here to we figure out what the job description or what I was. It was probably like a 30, 45 minutes of like, what do we actually, what do we do? What do we do? Like, how does this look? And it was just like, Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I like that.
Jeff's like a butter knife, and then there's me, Swiss Army knife.
Butter knife.
He's always reliable. You always get him. He's always good.
Hot butter knife.
Hot butter knife. He's coming in hot, but me, I'm
Jeff
just,
definitely comes in hot.
What if
I'm
you-
coming hot. Coming hot. So now you've been here 10 years, and we've obviously worked together a bunch. We've competed against each other a bunch. Have you seen the changes in Boston nightlife in the past 10 years? And
Ooh, that's a good question.
And what do you think is going to happen in the next, I'd say 5 years?
right? It's like a weird dynamic, Boston, right? Like
Totally
when
different
I came
from
here, like
other
Faneuil Hall
cities.
was like the spot. I
Right.
mean, like you couldn't get into Faneuil Hall on a Saturday night or Friday night. Now it's like ghost town.
What's Faneuil Hall?
So it's like
Not
so
only for
the-
me, but for the listeners.
For
too.
the listeners, yeah, it's basically a downtown Boston where it's just lined with bars.
Oh, it's just bars. There's no like
Coogan's and all
nightlife.
those places.
Yeah, like Quincy Market is like the big food place. It's a lot of like tourist area. It's down there, but it used to be a very strong college presence in bars and all that thing, and now it's not as popular. There's more things for people to do. It used to be in Boston. There was either clubs or Faneuil Hall for bars. It wasn't like all these different kinds of places now that people go to, such as like all these concert venues now and
So
different things.
before
like
my time was like Lansdowne, and I never went to Lansdowne because that's like before my time.
Where's
But-
that by Fenway?
Fenway, yeah. So
Okay.
Fenway used to be busy. This is what I'm told. And then like I think kind of
Fenway, like Jillian's and all that stuff, like that area.
That used to be like
Yeah.
the spot.
But that
Oh,
was where all
really?
the-
I've never even seen
I don't-
anything
me
popping
neither.
over there ever.
So it used to be
Didn't you used to live over there too?
it used to be Avalon, Axis,
Wait,
Embassy.
Avalon isn't Avalon that they had in New York
Yes,
and
yes.
Vegas?
Yeah, they had one in Boston.
I never knew
Yeah,
that.
and
Avalon.
that was like the huge club scene.
What's in that space now?
House of Blues?
I was just gonna say that
Yeah.
because that's the only spot that was pretty large
like Bill's
enough
Bar
to
used to
have.
be there.
Bill's Bar's still there.
It's still there. Yeah, I
like,
saw that.
But when I was
after
a
the
kid,
game.
like 18+ nights at Bill's Bar, like when you're a freshman, like it was busy.
Wait, that's not the same as the one in New York, right? There's
don't know.
Billy's Bar in New York.
No.
That's next to
That might be his
Yankee
cousin
Stadium, too.
Billy. No, it's just Bill.
They fight each other at
For the
Christmas.
Y? Yeah. They fight each other every year for the Y? Yeah. So where do
Okay,
you...
so
go
then
ahead.
it was Faneuil Hall, And then, I was at Julep from like 18 to about 22. I mean, maybe like 20 to like 23. I was at Julep. Well, I was 18 years old. I started working at Splash, right?
Wow.
With Mike that works here. So I was
Sounds
working
like
there.
a strip club.
I used to do Friday nights, yeah. So it was like there, and then like Splash was like the hot, like, kind of. Well, hold on, that's not true. That's not where I started. I started at DJ.
We started at Fluffs, obviously.
I started at Bluffs, and then my first.
Jeff's
so okay,
Bluffs.
hold on. I'm getting this confused with the question. I'm gonna go back to the question.
So was Splash a nightclub,
It was
or
like
these
a
like a bar that has a DJ?
It was like they had like Hardwell there.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
like a legit club.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But okay, so Boston nightlife. I'm getting off topic here. Boston nightlife. How do I see what was the question again?
So how do you see that it's changed in the past 10 years, and then give me 5 years in the future? Like, did you think like Monkeys would be DJing in 5 years?
Like, I
Like
think Boston
bored-
nightlife's like I
bored
feel like
apes.
we've become like from like a joke of nightlife, kind of not a joke, but it wasn't like a serious hub to now that we're like one of the major players. Like I could travel around and people know about the clubs.
Yeah.
They know what's going on.
Yeah.
Back in the theater district days, I mean, I think like Rumor was a great start, and then I think Bijou really did a product that nobody in Boston thought could be done. The celebrities, everyone, they started it. Nobody was doing bookings like, consistently.
right.
And I think Bijou guys like really put something in that was different. And then, from there, the Grand, the Memoir, the Big Night Live, it's like
Well, I used to DJ
another
at
level.
State too. That
Yeah.
was a big venue. I remember.
But they didn't bring like talent like besides you. But
Yeah. I mean, they did, but it wasn't
Whoa,
it
bro.
wasn't like a weekly thing, like I didn't think anybody
Fuck.
thought it could be sustainable here. And
This
like,
guy's running
market
the show.
every week.
no, I agree on that. I mean, I think it was mostly based on local DJs, and once in a while a New York DJ, once in a while like a DJ from LA, but not like the massive headliners that would attract like nationwide tours. I mean, I think Alex is right on that. I think like now Boston is a market.
No, we're a competitor now as far as
a billion
nightlife
percent.
goes.
Yeah, I mean it's funny too because I look at other markets and they have similar lineups to what we have. So it's kind of like, and
Yeah.
Alex can talk about this like more, but like, is that how they route the tours now? Do they route it through Boston
Yeah,
now? I mean everything has to
they're
be
with
routed
Boston. I think a way you could tell if your city is like getting bigger in nightlife is how many bachelor and bachelorette parties you see, right?
Yeah.
Because Vegas obviously gets the
Vegas,
most.
and then
Arizona
Atlantic
gets a
City,
shit ton.
Yeah.
Atlantic City, but we've been starting to see a lot come here
Because
Nashville.
people will just want to
Yeah.
stay, you know what I mean?
because
Instead
there's
of-
there's enough to do here,
Right.
Entertainment-wise,
for,
yeah.
for to keep you happy. So I think that's a good thing to see.
Coming from New York, I had a thing about Boston nightlife before I came here too, but this is years ago before Big Night really started changing in the industry around here. It was like Philly was like that too. Like Philly always had like a stale nightlife. Like you don't think about Philly and think about nightlife at all. And Boston was in that category for a long time until we started, changing things around with like Big Night, and like really now we're one of the top markets in the country for nightlife.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, with Philly, it really only takes like one person to change it. I mean, I think James Noto like put a lot of money into the market, like really try.
It's just a tough market.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
always been hard for nightlife.
It has to be
man.
one person that's willing to really grind and put the money up, and I think he's really like.
Noto's your spot down there?
I like it there, but I think he's changed Philly too, like the way we've kind of worked Boston. But it takes that one person, that group of people really to
Know what I just thought of though too? Know what hurts Philly? I think it hurts Philly is the fact that Atlantic City is only 45 minutes away, so that probably takes away from the nightlife in Philly.
How tough is it to book? You're booking against a casino. I mean, they have unlimited
Yeah,
budget.
yeah. And it's in the radius of where if you book Steve Aoki in Atlantic City, he can't play Philly.
Yeah.
It's in that 90-mile
and
radius.
they residency, they radius you out. It's a tough market.
Now, where do you see Boston going in the next 5 years?
I think that Boston, what it's going to see in the next 5 years is what we don't have in other cities. We don't have any lounges, right? We have no middle of the road spots, right? I mean, everything becomes a club. Everything like turns into a club. We don't have like that, that lounge, that like, something different. And also, what we don't have in Boston, we don't really have any true, like, I've thought about this. I think we're going to see a lot these next 5 years because people are going to know the spot. We don't have these true, like, restaurants or like club restaurants that are like chains, right? And they're going into every other market. And I think people are going to realize this is like a very powerful market, and they're going to start looking into, you know, taking these, you know, type of restaurants and moving them here, like, you know, like a Delilah's or something like that, you know, that's like been, you know, franchise kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot in the next 5 years of people being like, there's a lot of money in here. These guys are doing a lot of numbers. Why are we not in Boston?
Well, I can't lie. When I came from New York, like, you know, we get a lot of business guys that come into like the lounge spots that I DJ at. And not only that, but you have brokers and shit like that that are entertaining clients. So that helps in New York a lot as far as like these cool, you know, lounges that I usually play at. But Boston, there's a lot of money up here and they like to spend it. So it, like, you guys together in nightlife here, I feel like you guys win because everybody wants to compete. So this guy's over here popping 10 bottles. The guy's like, fuck that guy. I want to buy more bottles. And it starts turning into a bottle war. Yeah. In a lot of cities, it doesn't happen. But Boston's like that, and it works really well, I think. And we win from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, I mean, a dinner crowd is really strong. There's 100 callers a square mile. I think we're going to see a lot of the bigger players, you know, these guys that are going to want to, you know, come in and put their restaurant here because we don't have, you know, we don't really have that, you know, as many as every other city. You know, even in Philly, they have a lot of like, you know.
Oh, Philly's got good food.
Good Philly, good chain, like, you know, high end, you know, I would call them chain restaurants, but, you know, like there's more than one or there's 4 or 5.
Yeah. There's only like a handful.
Yeah.
Like, you
It's
know.
not a Chili's.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, we don't have there's no Nobu in Boston. There's no, like, there's none of these, like, places, and I think these people are going to start coming in and be like, hey, like, this is a real market.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it is a real market for that. Like, I asked Jeff all the time where I could get a good steak, and he always like Smith or Walensky's or something. I'm looking for,
I don't
like,
say that.
No, I'm just saying as an example, but I'm looking for that old school like Boston thing, and it doesn't really.
Shout out my guys
really
at Grill 23, Moo.
I like Grill 23.
Moo is open in Seaport, huh?
I know.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
I haven't been to Moo yet.
Well,
you have
we got to take you up for your birthday too.
I haven't been anywhere. In Boston.
So going back to the Swiss Army knife, give us some of the things that you do for booking now, and how booking has changed. I mean, before you would go through, you know, if the tour was in town, this is how, you know, we used to do it. We used to, you know, somebody would reach out from their team or their squad, and we'd book through them, and then it started going with, you know, booking agents like Scam and Ricky and Mood Swing and things like that. How has the booking game changed now?
I mean, the number one thing about the booking game now is that, you know, 5 years ago, you could get decent prices. Now they realize how much money is in the after parties, and it's expensive. Every artist is expensive. You know, it's not like it used to be where they would just be like, all right, like, here's 10 grand, come on by. No, they know their worth. They know how much they're getting for a club. You know, these guys, the little babies, $200K plus for after party. Like, you know, they understand how much money's in the club, how many covers you're doing, how much the bottles are. They understand 10, 15 grand tables. You know, everyone's really hip to it now.
Yeah, but before it was so green because it was so new, like 5-10 years ago, where they didn't really know the numbers. Now they really know the numbers.
Yeah, they're like, oh, okay. And now they're very stern. It's like, you know, the big dogs are like, you give me $200K or I'm just going to sit at home, right? And they pick where they want to do it. So, you know, they're not doing 40 after parties anymore. You know, they're doing, you know,
one
or 10 or 15, and then now they leverage like COVID. Like, you're like, hey, like, you know, if we're willing to go out there, get COVID, miss it, you know, like the J. Cole thing. Like, we've done J. Cole every time he's been here. Jeff knows him. We all know him. Like, he's done the after parties here. You know, hey, if I'm gonna take my, you know, what does he get for a show? $500,000. If I'm gonna go leave my house, you know, leave my hotel room, risk losing $500,000 for a show, you got to make it worth it. And make it worth it is, you know, we're not in a major market. Sometimes it becomes tough. So a lot of the after parties we'd always get that we were accustomed to getting, now they've just been priced out.
Yeah. But even based on relationships, they don't do you a solid.
It just like, this is like, there's relationships, and then there's, you know,
business.
Hey, I'm getting this in, you know, this market. I'm getting in this market. Hey, I'd rather, you know, hey, I'll skip Boston. I'll go to 11 and get my $200K. You know?
Yeah.
What are they closely compare us? Which market do they closely compare us to when booking? Because you can't say, "Oh, I'm getting this in Vegas." You're like, "Yes, it's Boston, it's not Vegas."
Oh,
what
yeah,
do they,
that's a
what,
good
What do
question.
they compare us most to? New York?
they always give
New
you the,
York's
we got this in Florida, we got this
Yeah.
in New York. They don't pay anyone really. I mean, New York is a tight market. They don't.
Yeah, there's not a lot of.
You don't get a lot of big money in New York, but they'll say, hey, and there's a lot of like sleepy markets now, like Philly. They pay a lot of money for people. Charlotte, a lot of these like Scottsdale, Cleveland. I mean, there's a lot of these markets that are sleepy markets, and when this money was so like when everyone got the PPP and they got all this stuff, they inflated the market. So when you came back out from COVID, like the market was so high, you were just like, do we sit out or do we become a participant in the hip hop?
Well, when we're talking about bookings, Alex, let's clarify that he does a lot of artist bookings, not so much the DJ bookings, right?
Yeah, most.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, it just depends. It's
he's a Swiss Army knife.
I understand.
I do it all.
I understand that, but there's a different aspect of booking DJs than booking
100%.
talent.
Yeah.
It's totally,
because
totally different game.
The number one thing that people don't remember is a DJ, like an EDM DJ, a tour DJ. They only play the clubs, right? So that's their.
So
booking.
it's easy to get them in the club.
Easy to book in the club because that's where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
An artist,
not so much.
If they sell out TD Garden, then you want them to come here. It's like, hey, I just did 15,000, 16,000 tickets. What, like, it's got to make sense,
Right.
Yeah.
Is that how you meet a lot of your connections too, through the artists, like I don't know, like Shout Out Spade and stuff like that, or do you meet the artist first and then you meet their DJ?
I mean, like negotiate, like circumventing, figure out who's like actually got the in with the artist is the name of the game, right? So
Right.
someone could be their manager, but their DJ could have more pull than the manager.
Because the manager might not even bring it to the artist.
The manager might be like, dude, I don't want him in the club.
No. Not only that, but maybe he doesn't have that same conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to talk to my manager the same way I talk to Jeff.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
maybe the DJ can convince the artist a little bit more to come in the club.
And
too,
sometimes
yeah.
the manager's timid. Sometimes they're like, there's a million other things going on. They're signing these huge deals. Like, it's not even time for them. But so yeah, it's all about just who's the artist, what does it look like, who's this one, who's that one, who's this
Yeah.
one, and it's it's like a nonstop thing, right? It's not like you book them once here and then you never have to deal with them again. Like, they want this, they want that, they want this, and they want shoes, they want this. Like it's like a whole thing. You got to keep the relationship strong because when they come back, you always want the favorite price.
Yeah, not only that, but you're building these relationships and they go super. I think that's the most important thing about what we do in this business as far as even our clientele, building a relationship with our clientele, building a relationship with the bookers, the managers. It's just all really based on, your relationships, and they're very important.
And it's like this. It's like even if you get the price, you get everything down, then you have to use that relationship to get them there because, in other cities, they don't mind going to 2:30, 2:45, 3 o'clock. Here, we cut off at 2 o'clock. Like,
Right.
So now you got to use your relationship, make sure that they have respect enough for you and what you're doing that, they don't show up at 1:45, 1:50.
Exactly. You've had a few close calls.
Yeah, yes, I have.
But speaking of that, now I know what we're talking about. But us being in this market now that we built this reputation of actually being a contender in markets, now we have artists that actually hit us up because they want to come out, right? Sometimes we have that.
Yeah, no, of
So
course.
the price changes when you have an artist that wants to come to the venue rather than you reaching out to the artist, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to do it, it makes life so much easier.
Who are your favorite artists to work with?
Favorite artist to work with? I mean, like who we've done a lot at here. I mean, we've done Travis Scott a lot at the Grand, and we've had always good success. The last time he was, maybe a little close to 2 o'clock, or maybe it was 2 o'clock. But he's driving from New York. It's tough. Like it's tough. Like keeping everyone on time. You take a Sprinter, it only goes so fast.
Not only that, but there, a lot of these artists have a lot of people with them, and it's like organizing that whole set of people is tough.
I mean, the Travis Scott story is like fascinating. Like so the last time we had him,
I gave people. A
Yeah,
brief,
we had a- yeah,
you gave him one?
people were brief on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. What about Snoop? The last time he came, you've booked him a lot of different places,
lot.
right?
yeah, no, we did. So we did Philly the night before, and then we did here.
Cheerleaders, right?
And it was a good party. Philly, he was in like the best mood ever. And then the next day, like his mom died. So I didn't know if they're going to cancel the show, what we were going to do. And you're
Right.
just like, you know, I was like, he'll probably can't. I mean, I thought he may cancel the show. I didn't know, but you know, he had to go to New York. They had the album coming out, so I was like, you know, what are we gonna do? I mean, you know, you just kind of get in those weird situations where you kind of
that's a really tough place to be.
You just kind of you have no control. A lot of it you have no control. It's like, you know, you kind of try to keep control of things, and you got to kind of just roll with whatever happens.
What about artists that you won't work with again? Are you just
artists that I won't work with again?
You don't have to say their names.
Yeah,
but
but no, don't say any names. But has there been an artist that was just too much? Like, I'm never again doing that. Like, this guy was like over the fuck.
I mean, I always say, I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I probably quit like once a weekend. I'm like, dude, I'm done with this. I quit, and then, you know, Monday comes again. I'm like,
yeah.
But that's a good thing though, because at the same time, it sucks. But I'm sure it's a very on-hands learning experience, and you take all that knowledge of all these shitty bookings that you've had to deal with, like all the fucking dumb shit, and you're like, you've seen so much of it at this point now. You could kind of navigate it a little easier than it was when you first came into this. It's so green, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing like you're just, you know, there's, you know, the place is sold out. Then you're standing there, Randy's sitting at the table. You're getting
Randy's the owner of the company.
Yeah, he's the owner of the club, so he's texting you, right? And
yo, where's this dude? I got a lot invested.
Because it starts at 12. Starts at 12:30.
Investment.
Where's this guy at? Then at 1:00. Where's this guy at? Then at 1:05, 1:15. Now it's 1:25, and you're like, okay, we got 5 minutes, or this is gonna be an absolute disaster. And you just like, you know, you're at the will of
the artist.
Like it's like, you know, they want to come. They just think. Most of them think like time, 2:00 does not mean 2:00 for me. It means 2:00 for you. It means 2:00 for you. I'm one of the biggest at 2:30, 3:00, and they don't care.
It's like time's irrelevant.
Yeah. So and they're like, it's not like they want to be purposely late. They just, you know,
just the way that it works. They don't even. When you're a big artist like that, things are happening so fast you don't know anything that's going on around you. Sometimes.
I mean, I've had quite a close calls of 1:40, 1:30 in full sprint to the DJ booth. You know.
Yeah.
And then the DJ can't connect to the computer, and then,
always.
And then this.
They don't have this to plug in.
And then you're looking for Bamboura's like our sound guy. You can't find him. He's doing the lights. So, you know.
It's always a lot.
Jason's DJing, and I'm trying to switch the thing, and I don't know what to do, and I'm starting yelling at him, and it's just, it happens a lot more than you think.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work, man.
100%. And so over the past 6 months, I've seen so many DJs that I haven't seen before, because I was mostly doing more top 40 hip hop things. Seen some awesome EDM DJs. We've had some awesome acts the past 6 months, and is there any ones that stick out besides Travis Scott, which was amazing? Are there any ones that stick out of like, wow, that was like a show and a half?
I think Gordo, like, I mean, I think Carnage, I mean, I saw him in Tulum, and he was like, I don't like deep house music. I don't like that kind of music.
Right.
And he like in Tulum, he was like, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then he came to Boston on Thursday night, and I mean, it sold because it was like Carnage, but I think that new music he's playing, like, it's captivating, like, people that aren't into the music. And I thought that was like pretty dope. I mean, I did a boat cruise, and we did a boat cruise, and then we did Grand with Virgil. I mean,
yeah, that was dope.
You know, I gotta have
peace, man.
I gotta have dinner with Virgil. This guy was, you know, talking about all these plans he had, and he wanted to build the clubs, and he wanted, you know, it was like 6 months before he passed, and he looked fine. He was talking about plans for the future and how he priced items, and we had like full dinner conversation.
That's great.
Didn't seem like anything was wrong with him. Like, he was talking about things future 5, 10 years, you know, like where he was taking his shows, what he was doing, and like, you know, had no idea.
His brain just worked so beautifly, man.
Yeah.
It really did.
You're obviously a streetwear connoisseur and things. How far back did you start following Virgil?
Well, okay, so this is side note. I didn't know this. Virgil told me this. Riccardi's in Boston.
Yeah.
Took his first season. That they were the first people to have Off-White in a store. They're the first one to sign up and take his clothing brand. So
shit.
They took he told me they took season 0 of 0 or 1 of 1, whatever he told me. They were the first ones to take his clothing brand in. So, I mean, I bought it from there when I started shopping there. I mean, I was probably like in college, maybe end of college, or right around there, maybe whenever the first, you know, I wasn't on the first season, but maybe like the second or third season of when it came out.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do you still have those pieces?
I have some of them. Like, he used to make like I have a piece. It's like a Guns N' Roses kind of reworked.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah. Those were dope.
And the material on those first shirts, like, I would try to buy them on Grailed everything. I mean, I don't know what they are now, but the material in those first like couple seasons was like a stretchy material, like shirt. It was the most comfortable shirt on the planet.
It was like smooth. It was like buttery, right?
Yeah, it was
That's
like
my new
so nice.
word, buttery.
I like that. I would go back. I wish they still made the T-shirts like that.
See, I can't throw away nothing like that. Like I found a shirt in my storage bin that's been sitting there for like 15 years, and it's a Kate Moss shirt in Karl Lagerfeld's hat, like from behind, like doing her from behind. She's naked, right? And it's Vogue, and it's like everything, dude. I haven't seen this shirt in like 15 years. I looked on Grail; they're like selling for like $800. Like they don't exist. No, I have boxes full. I haven't thrown away shit, dude.
Is that the new Concepts hat, by the way?
Yeah, Concepts. Yeah.
I know. I need New York. Yes. I need it. The one that say New York.
When are those coming out?
They have them at the store now.
They just dropped like the other day. Yeah. Shout out to Concepts one time.
Yep. Jason's always there.
Yep. Always
Give
working.
him a little clap. Give him a little clap.
Oh, that Babe Canada Goose jacket they released last week was fire.
I got the snow camo one with the little pup.
I was about to get it, and I put it back.
Put it on my story. People are going Banana Land.
So how do you
you hear that Banana Land?
How do you find out about the newest trends? Like I am probably the least.
How do you find out about the newest trends? I mean,
I gotta get into. Yeah, I mean, because you.
I'm a trend setter. I'm not a trend follower, bro.
I hate blowing up your spot, but you do know stuff before it does come out. Do you do a lot of like research, or do you just like I look at something and be like, all right, that's cool, that's gonna pop. That's
I mean, I kind of. I mean, I do 90% of my shopping in Riccardi, so I kind of trust it.
I don't feel like I think Alex sees something and is like, yo, that's dope. I don't think he's like, oh, everybody likes that, because Alex doesn't dress like anybody else. That I feel like he's got his own thing going on, like me, homeless chic. You know what I mean?
Homeless chic.
That's my style, homeless chic.
But I think he knows his stuff. I mean, he was telling me, he was like, "Oh, I saw the guy at this courtside, and he had this brand on. I don't know how he knew about this brand. This brand is this." He knows, like.
No, I love that.
It's not just like, oh, it looks cool. He knows it.
I mean, I mean, like, you kind of follow what's going on if you're into it. If you're in this, the Celtics, you know about all the players in the Celtics, who they drafted, what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
It's no different. I mean, it's just kind of, if you're into it, you follow it. You know what's
fun.
going on. You learn about design. You learn about this, and it's like it's become like a very popular thing. It wasn't always this super popular thing. It was like not that cool at some point. It was just normal, but now it's become like a very like popular thing for kids and everyone.
Not only that, but it's that's why we talk about it on the podcast, because we don't talk fashion, but fashion is an aspect of this culture that we love. Nightlife, music, fashion, you know what I mean? There's just so many. It fits under the blanket of the culture of hip hop and music and urban wear and shit. What do they call it?
It's all like one and the same. It's like part of the thing. Like the people that you're working with are all in the same thing. So it's like something you kind of like bond over.
Yeah.
I like that.
I
like that. So we'll pull out another part of the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, pull it.
Alex is not only a coworker, he's probably a partner at the lunch table with me. So he's always hip on the best spots around, and we get some serious food. He knows it, but he also has some crazy quirks about food.
Oh, I've known Alex for a couple of years now, and I could just tell that he has quirks about food.
I mean, extra cheese on pizza, acceptable. Steak well done.
I like well done steak. It's a little weird. I know it's a little weird, but people always
ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
They always hit me up about
That's serial killer stuff.
Yeah.
You should see. You order like a expensive like Wagyu steak well done. They look at you like crazy, and you just gotta have confidence. Be like, you sure? And then it'll come out medium, and you gotta send it back again. And they go crazy. You're just like, okay, like
I'm sure they go crazy. The flavor is lost.
No, it's not true. If you tried it, you might like it. I like a little burnt, a little charcoal.
He likes a little burnt with A1 sauce.
No A1, no.
Well, do you know what his favorite fast food restaurant is?
Is it the same as a pirate?
I don't know how you know
Arby's.
I don't know how you know that. Arby's is the best.
He looked it up on Wikipedia, dude.
I don't know how you knew that. That's so weird. You knew that? Did I tell you that?
No.
That's some old Nardwar shit.
I don't know how you knew that.
I got to
Arby's is the best.
All right, we'll take a part two. All right, Jason's back from.
I'm back for pee break. Thanks, guys, for holding it down.
So you left on the Arby's thing, which is fine that you like Arby's, and I understand.
But is it?
it's not fine when there are so many good roast beef spots on the North Shore.
Oh my God, that's so funny because I forgot roast beef's a Boston thing. So to me, it's not.
That's like going to I don't know.
That's like living in New York City and order Domino's pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hot take: Arby's roast beef is better than North Shore roast beef.
No, wow.
I don't know anything about any.
When's the last
stuff.
time you had Arby's?
I used to like Arby's.
Come on.
Curly fries are the shit.
What did I just say to you on the break? Curly fries and
I've had Arby's one time.
the beef and cheddar with a little horsey sauce, a little Arby's sauce. I'm telling you, Arby's is low key the most underrated place.
I used to
But
get
there's
the
none
Philly
around here,
cheesesteak
so I can't
one.
really compare
the
it, though.
Philly cheesesteak one I used to get.
But there's
I'm
so
getting
many
it in
good,
New York where there's no roast beef places. That's what it is. Oh, there's Roland Roaster.
There's amazing homemade roast beef
Shout
places.
out Roland Roaster in Brooklyn.
I've been to Rolling Roaster. That's good.
Brennan Cars
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I've been to Rolling Roaster.
But there's so many good roast beef places here, and you choose Arby's.
Arby's is fire. I'm just letting you know that I would stick to Arby's as my favorite fast food restaurant ever. I would order it. I mean, there's the closest one here is like Worcester, so I don't get it that much. But the
What? Damn, that's bad. Far.
but it's
Wait,
You ain't getting Uber Eats in Worcester.
I've never
ever
drove to
have you
Worcester
ever-
for Arby's. No,
Shout out to
Then you have a problem, son.
but
We'll
if,
have to talk about
but if
that
I'm driving
off
to
air.
Pennsylvania and it's on the way, I have to
Oh,
hit a
fuck
Arby's.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like that with some shit.
Come on, Jeff.
All right. What's your favorite new spot right now in town? Well, we know what your favorite spot is, and shout out to Monica's.
I like Monica's. Yes,
Wait, what?
Monica's.
it's Italian spot. Oh, it's great. You gotta go.
Oh, it's that one that I saw on your Instagram that had the Philly cheesesteak?
Yes. Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
My favorite new spot.
Yeah. You just stick to your guns.
I mean, I like Mastro's. That's one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
I get Zuma here and there. I like Zuma.
Zuma's good. But, whoa, that's one, right? Now that we're talking about it, that's a great example of a place, like you said, like a Nobu,
Yes.
a Delilah, stuff
And
like
look
that.
how busy it is. We're going to see more of those kind of places in Boston.
yeah.
That's
Is
what I'm
Zuma a
talking about.
local place or is that?
Zuma's here, Dubai,
Isn't there
New
one
York.
in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have a DJ too, but
I mean,
it is loungy.
I mean, what's it called? The one on the rooftop by Major Food Group, Contessa. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like, see, Major Food Group, they own Carbone, they own all those. They open that. And I think we're going to see a lot of people come in here and be like, hold on, dude, there's a lot of chicky
Yeah,
here.
I like Carbone.
a lot of chicky.
Yeah.
Should we start with some rapid questions for Alex?
Okay, let's hear them.
You ready?
Yeah.
Jason, go first.
Is it true you never answered emails till a year or two ago?
I used to hate email. Still don't understand email. We could text, we could call, we could FaceTime. What's the point of emailing? I don't understand it, but I'm corporate Willie. They call me corporate Willie. I have my own
Corporate Willie.
I have my own big night email, and now I answer emails. I'm on emails.
Well,
But
now
you-
there's a chain that goes with the emails that can't go with a text message. Does that?
why? Text message still
I
saves
gotta
the
be
chain.
honest with you. I don't know much about emailing either.
I mean, I didn't really like emailing. It wasn't my favorite thing, but now I'm an emailer.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for growing up.
Wait, so you never emailed before?
I've emailed. I had an email, but I didn't like. That wasn't my. I don't like the
It was
communication.
tenderdog@yahoo.com.
Yeah, I was like,
It was Arby's Lover XOXO.
I didn't have
No,
like
that was his Tinder
email,
name.
you know.
That was
I-
his Tinder name.
I wasn't. The hip hop booking you don't do on email.
I understood.
So I didn't really need an email. I said, I hate email.
Travis Scott or Drake?
I'm going to stick with Travis here because
Whoa.
he's having a rough time, and I'm going to stick to him. I'm feeling for him right now, and I'm going to stick with Travis.
I got it.
So is it true that you're such a heavy sleeper that you actually slept through a fire?
I did sleep through a fire. I don't know how you guys know this. I was in college. We slept through a fire. The lady in the building thought we did it on purpose. And I came down the elevator and
Wait, you came down the elevator during a
You're
fire?
well, no.
I don't even know if that's legal.
Okay, so first of all, so at this point the building was cleared out, right? And the right side of the building was on fire, not like where the elevator is.
Yeah.
So I came down the elevator. There was thousands of people, maybe 800 people outside the building. News cameras, everything. There's me walking out like this.
way.
In his boxer shorts with a wife beater
Yeah,
on.
I was woken up by a firefighter.
Wow.
Like,
That's
what are you guys
crazy.
still doing here? Like, why wouldn't I be here? It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
You didn't hit the alarm?
No.
That's aggressive because those alarms are serious.
Will you go to an event in Boston if you're not promoting it?
unless I'm like supporting a friend, like if it's like Waleed's event or something like that, yes. Otherwise, no. Like
Even if it's somebody you wanted to see.
like someone I go see a concert, but I usually it's like
No,
No,
not a
okay.
concert.
what are you asking?
Yeah, what
I
are you
won't go
asking,
like
bro?
if it's like somebody else's promoted event.
Yeah.
No,
Nightlife you're talking.
Yeah, like I would go to any like club. You wouldn't.
no. I mean, if you own a McDonald's, you think you go eat at Burger King?
On Wednesdays I would.
Only for Zarbies.
If people support you, then you got to support them back. Otherwise, no.
So rumor has it that you do this amazing Kermit the Frog impression. Is this true?
Is that the best you do?
Me and Jeff used to do it back in the day on Thursdays. I used to do Kermit and Miss Piggy. They go crazy.
Can we hear it or not?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm putting you on the spot, but if you can't.
Hi, it's Kermit the Frog here. I used to do it, and I could do Miss Piggy too. Well, hello, Kermit.
Damn, it's Jim Henson.
That's pretty good, right?
here.
Yeah, man,
that's
like,
pretty good.
that's
man.
not bad.
Look at that.
I put you
One
on the
time.
spot. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff used to have me do it outside on repeat.
Oh, I used to film it. Favorite place to spring break?
Oh, Cancun. I'm a Cancun guy for life. Terry, Student City, good friends. I
love Terry.
would
Shout
like to
out
go to
Terry.
Cancun until I was 80. I love Mexico. I think Cancun's one of the best places on the planet.
It's Tulum. Well, this is gonna sound silly, but
I'd never been on a spring break ever in my entire
You never
life.
DJ'd a spring break?
Once. Acapulco before it got really weird in Acapulco where
And
you
they
can't go
started-
there.
I
no
never
more.
went on spring break either.
I think this is your year, guys.
I always wanted to go on a spring break.
Jeff, I would love to take you to spring break this year.
It might be weird. I'm the old dad.
I'm going to go this year. Hey,
Are you-
book
Yeah,
my
do it,
friend, I'm
Jeff.
coming.
Well, can we book Terry? Shout out Terry. Can we book Terry?
I used to work with Terry back in the day and his partner. Yeah.
I mean, Terry full circle, dude. He went from, running Student City to now owning it. I mean, he's...
Yeah, he was. I remember when he was just a worker when I
Yeah.
was working with Student City, and then he just took over, man. And, that's amazing.
He's killing
Wait,
it.
is Tulum close to Cancun?
Tulum is like 45 minutes from Cancun.
Is it
It's
more
the new spot. It's like the new hot spot. So Cancun had its run. It still has its run, but Tulum is like...
It's where all the real cool kids
it's
go.
becoming more like...
So are you still sticking with Cancun?
I got to stick with Cancun for life, but Tulum,
That's
I do
OG.
enjoy Tulum.
Got it.
I like that. Oh, it's my turn. Sorry, guys. What's your favorite pair of Crocs you have? By the way, Alex is the king of Crocs. Just so you know.
The ones I really like, I'm hopefully I'm getting those Salehis. Those look like they're gonna be the hot ones
I
for this
saw
year.
those. Yeah, yeah.
But I do like my Space Jam ones because like nobody got the Space Jam ones.
I got the Grateful Dead ones. Shout out to Connor.
I have
Murphy
them too.
for
I have them
those.
too. They're nice.
I know I wanted them so bad. Alex was supposed to get them for me, but he couldn't find them.
They're not easy to find.
No, China market.
Favorite flavor of hookah?
Wow, that's a good question. I'm like a blueberry mint guy.
Wow.
You catch me-
Blueberry
you
mint.
catch me
I
blueberry
fuck with
mint?
that.
Or there's
I
one
can
called
fuck
Love
with that.
66. It's like a combo flavor. That's maybe Love 66. maybe my
Wait,
favorite.
do you get blueberry and you get mint? You mix it together, or you? Or
I
there's
think
a flavor
it comes
with
blueberry mint, or you put blueberry mint together.
I'm not too hip on the whole
And there's
hookah game.
I'm going to
so-
tell you guys a secret flavor that's maybe my favorite now that I think about it. Gum mint.
Oh my god, I was about to say bubble gum.
Gum mint is
I was gonna
fire.
say gummy bear. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds fire.
You are a hookah connoisseur.
Really?
I do enjoy hookah. How could you not?
The first time I really saw the hookah thing where I had a DJ was the event that we did with a basketball player, and you guys brought in company from outside the venue to set up the
And you
hookahs.
see, like basketball players in like general, they
Dude.
love hookah more than anything in the planet.
Not only that,
I don't know how they smoke hookah for
You-
4 hours and then run up and down the court. But
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm like sitting there at this party that we did for a player, and he's probably the biggest player in the NBA. And to see him sitting there smoking a hookah, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Is this really happening?
just ripping hookah.
The whole time, dude. I'm like, whoa. It's so random. So, what's your favorite nightclub outside of Boston?
Besides Noto,
I like,
Yeah, you already said
I like
no,
Riot
no.
House in Scottsdale. That's a good
Yeah,
spot.
you love it out there. I used to
I
live
love
in Phoenix
Scottsdale,
for a while.
I tried to get Dennis on the phone, but he couldn't.
You did.
Yeah.
He's. I don't know how you. I don't know how you know Dennis, but
I don't know that. I don't.
That's why you didn't get
Dennis
him on
is
the
in
phone.
Like, he's in like Malaysia. He's in Thailand. He's in somewhere crazy.
the last DM that we hit.
He's a very interesting character. That Dennis.
The last one that I had with
When's the last time you been in Scottsdale?
Oh, probably, unfortunately, when my father passed away. I used to
gotta-
live in
you gotta
Tempe
go back
for a
out
while.
there.
I know, it's so much fun. I used to hang out on Mill Ave. That's where I met Fashion in Z-Trip when I was a kid.
he said, let me think of some good memories. He goes, oh, actually, I have a great one. And then that was the last I heard of him.
That's just moved up.
Yeah.
He's a unique character.
Favorite watch out now?
My favorite. I've been buying a lot of Rolexes because I think they're great investments. They're going up, and I like wearing them.
I'm agree with you on that because it's just like such like that classic. Like it's never. Here's my thing about fashion though too, and it goes along with my style and speaking on a watch is. It's your Rolex is not a niche thing. That's never not going out of style.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna buy something dope that has value that I can have for 10 or 15 years, I want it to be not one-off niche thing. I want it to be classic, like Gucci stuff that I buy. I make sure that it's like something that's always gonna be in fashion no matter what. And Rolex is a classic. I always wanted a 1990s Wall Street cocaine guy's watch. That's all I wanted.
No, like you buy something, you're like, is this a one wear? Like, am I gonna wear this one time?
Yeah.
And see, that's it, or am I gonna have this for 5, 6, 10?
I try if I'm going to spend an ample amount of money on clothing, I want to make sure it's something that's classic.
I try to do that too, but sometimes you just like
Sometimes something just catches your eye. You're like, yo,
I'm not leaving
that.
without that.
Yeah.
So what kind of Rolexes you liking now?
I like. I've been getting some stainless pieces, steel pieces. Kind of just getting into it, getting moving on it.
It's great investment, and I heard they're hard to get right now because of everything with the COVID situation. So the prices have been going up as far as Rolexes go, and probably all watches.
Yeah, everything's dude. Every watches are through the moon.
If I didn't like mine so much, I'd be like, maybe I should get rid of it. Jeff got rid of his recently too.
Yeah, he told me.
You should have held out a little bit longer.
Jeff,
though.
they're hot, right? You could have.
Yeah, you should have waited like a couple more months. You would probably got a couple more bucks out of it. But it's all right.
I traded. We'll get a new one. We'll get going.
Oh, what's your was the Jordan 5, was that your favorite sneaker, or what is your favorite sneaker?
Well, that's a good question. I never really thought about like what's my actual favorite ever of all time. But Jordan 5 like really maybe started when I like they were like green beans they were called. They were like 3M and then the
I
grapes
remember those. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
The grapes
all
were
those were
dope.
like I really enjoyed those.
I have like an orange and white pair that I like that.
I'm a big dunk guy though. Like dunks.
Dunk's my favorite,
I never
too.
came in and out of dunks. Like I always liked dunks, Tiffany dunks, all those dunks. I mean, they were all my. I like them still to this day.
I like the Jordan. I like the dunk in Jordan 1.
Like Jordan 1, I can't like be a Jordan 1 guy because everyone's
my
a Jordan. Everyone's a Jordan 1 person. Like
And a 3. Jordan 1 and 3 are my favorites for sure. I love a 3. My favorite sneakers, my signed Virgil Abloh Air
I
Force.
have a signed Virgil sneaker too.
Jordan, yeah. I won that lottery, man. I paid $95 for the Jordan 1s, off white, and now they're worth they're priceless now that they're signed by.
Yeah, I mean, I had all
by
those Jordan
Virgil.
ones and I just burned through them. I just like like a cemetery.
Do you? This is a good question. Going with this, do you hoard your sneakers or do you wear every
I'm
pair of
wearing them.
sneakers?
I'm
I wear
wearing
every
them.
pair of sneakers I
wearing
get
them.
too. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. What's the point of what am I?
I
holding
have
for?
sneakers on ice though, but I have a pair that I wear, like the 95 Air Max. The neon black is my favorite. One of my favorite all-time sneakers, and I always have to have a pair on ice.
The only thing I do is like if I like too many
90s.
people are into them or like I feel like they're like played out like Yeezys. Like I just have 30, 40 pairs of Yeezys in the closet, and I just like
Oh, I'd beat
whatever.
the shit out of mine.
No, I just don't wear them because it's like I was over. Just I get over
They're
them. Like,
super comfortable though.
they're comfortable, but it's just like it's
Wait, what size are you? 13?
13.
Oh yeah, send those over.
Well, I
my
need
way,
Yeezys.
yeah.
I got about every different one.
Yeah, Jeff
like,
needs a pair of Yeezys.
all
have a
the
pair of
all the
Yeezys.
Adidas
You need
Yeezys.
another
Like,
pair.
they're played out. I feel like so I've been just
I mean, how many times can you just change the color scheme of a sneaker?
he
and
was getting
start
me in for every
reselling?
one of them. I
Yeah.
must say, I was going for it all.
Oh, they're re-releasing the blue,
Belugas?
belugas. Yeah. So
With
that's
the,
another
with
thing.
With the orange strap.
Yeah, that's coming back out like
I-
next week or
those
something.
are dope.
Oh, they
I
come
like
out
those.
today. Oh shit! I was supposed to try to get another pair.
I'll text them for you, buddy. Do you really need a pair?
Yeah.
I'll text them for you. Give me 1 second. You know them or no?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, I was gonna text him. I was gonna try. I had this other email.
No, I just gave you a pair from him. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Wow.
Alex
No problem.
coming through, son.
No problem on that.
Flexing on that.
Come on.
Flexing on the podcast.
It's not like an impossible. It's like a,
Top 5 DJs.
Dead or alive?
No. Alive that we work with. Oh, we don't have to work with, though you would like to work with.
oh, okay. I'm gonna go outside of Boston because you go inside of Boston.
No, we're not talking about Boston.
There's too many people. I mean, I like Spade a lot.
Yeah.
I like Chase B a lot.
Yeah.
I like Dre Sinatra a lot.
Yeah. Give me two.
I like Charlie B a lot. And I'll give you one more. Let me think here. What was that? That 4? And I go, Esco. How could I forget Esco? Esco, my guy.
Yeah, you.
See, you see
always
Esco.
bring Esco. Yeah,
You see Esco DJing for little Kanye West the other day. It's pretty dope.
I'm playing with him on
The 30th.
the 30th. Yeah,
Yeah. Esco's going to be a good time. Yeah. He always puts on a show.
we're doing Esco at the Grand for all y'all listeners out there.
Yeah, the 30th.
The
night before.
30th.
Night
Yeah,
before.
man.
What do you got for us?
What do I have for you guys?
Yeah, what'd you bring me?
Do you have any Arby's on you?
Some
I'm
questions for you
fucking
guys?
starving, bro.
I know, me too. I'm hungry.
trying to think.
Well, what's going on? I mean, give us.
Hey, what's going on? How's your day?
How's your week?
Fuck, now I can't find that thing now.
What were you looking for?
Nothing.
I mean, yesterday was like, it was good. I thought the show was good.
Yeah, so yesterday we did Polo G.
I should have went. I don't know.
I'm
why
getting
I was
into
being
like
lazy.
opposite positions that I used to be. So we used to not have the concert venue. So I used to be the promoter, trying to get the artist to the after party, announce it whenever I wanted. Didn't care about how many tickets you sold or anything. So now I'm back to, we have the concert. I don't want someone else to have the after
Right,
party.
right.
So I've kind of like flipped positions. So if I become like,
Don't they have a clause in contracts?
they
now?
do,
No?
but they were already past tickets. So I've become like, you know, the person I didn't want to be, like the person I hated.
Right.
You
I
are
become
that
that person now. Like, we have the concert. You can't have an after party. I want to, you know.
Now, yeah,
So the guy that I hated, that I was like, I would never be like that. If I want to do an after party, the show was sold out. I'd let him. I may have become that person, I think, but I don't want to admit to that.
I don't think you're that person.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, this is an amazing interview. Well, by the way,
Well, first of all, this is our first was George like
George came in for a segment, yeah, but this is our first interview.
That was a segment. This is our first in-house interview for sure. And it's such a pleasure to have you here with us, Alex.
Well, we're
For
going to
real.
shout out Egypt. We're number 1 in Egypt.
You guys are number 1 in Egypt.
Shout out number 1 in Egypt. Book us for
Omar El Sharif. It's Omar El Sharif that did it.
I talked to him yesterday. He had no idea.
He had no idea about
He had
you
no
being
idea.
number 1 in Egypt. It's definitely him and his family.
Yeah, we'll bring Young Tut with us,
Yeah.
and we have a whole crew. We'll bring Wahid.
Wahid, there we go.
Yep.
Young Tut,
They just
there you
came
go.
back from Egypt, actually.
They were all there, yeah. Maybe that's what it was. They were listening to you in Egypt.
Oh shit! Yeah, shout out Young Tut and Wahid.
You guys are you're beating Zane Lowe in Egypt. It's insane.
It's pretty crazy, yeah. Well, it was a pleasure having you on. We've got to go.
Well, Alex is always
around.
here.
Yeah,
we
gotta
always
go
have
around
him.
too.
Yeah. We got to talk about how there's some fascinating stories. We didn't get into any like crazy stories. I've been through some wild stories with these things.
Yes, we have. I think we're going to do a part 2.
We'll do a part 2. Yeah,
we'll do
fucking
crazy stories. We'll do. You know what we got to do?
We should all have just come up a segment of all crazy stories we've seen and just drop them.
Story
Between us,
time one.
Story time exclusive episode.
Wow, just stories. Trying to top each other's stories.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like that.
that'd be fire.
Well, thanks again, Alex, for coming on.
Yeah, man.
After
One
the
time,
new year, we'll do
Alex.
it again. You can find us
Happy
on.
fucking holidays.
Number 1 in Egypt.
Number 1 in Egypt. Shout out Egypt for the support. No, where you find Alex at, man?
I'm an Instagram guy. You know, I'm not a
Well, he's not an email guy.
not
We
an
know
email
that.
guy,
We know that. Yeah.
but I'm an Instagram.
If you want to see him, you have to see him at the club.
yes,
What's the Instagram?
Alex Will made it.
Alex Will Made
That's
It.
what I meant, man. That's when they find you. Alex Will made it.
Thank you.
I love that.
You can find Jason at.
Jason Smith Music.
You can find me at Jeff London _. You
One
can find
time.
us at. I'm the promoter. He's the DJ.
That's it.
Happy New Year.
Happy fucking New Year.
Peace.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the band.